So we have come to the end of chapter 8. I want you to copy this down on some paper. So make sure you get some paper and pencil or something to write with. This is going to be your 8.1 to 8.4 test review. Use your notes and you can use a calculator to help you. First problem, find the surface area. This is a square pyramid. I've given you some clues to help you out. Hint, the bottom is a square, which means all of the sides are the same. So go ahead and write this down and try to work through it. So on this one, you have 8 feet, and then your height is 11 feet, if you can see that. Next one. Okay, this is a triangular pyramid. I've given you a hint here as well. There is a base triangle you need to figure out, and then there are 3 side triangles that will be the same. Remember, when you do triangles, it's base times height divided by 2. So let me just point some things out here. 12 centimeters is the side length. 10.4 centimeters is the height of the bottom triangle. And 8 centimeters is the height of the side triangle. So make sure you use those dimensions. Write it down, pause it if you need to make sure you have these written down correctly, and work through them. Try to solve them on your own. Next problem says find the volume. Remember, volume is length times width times height. So just to make sure you can read these, this is 4/5 yards, 5/8 yards, and 3/4 yards. Copy that down, solve it, work it out. Next one, same thing, you're finding volume. 1 3/5 feet, 1 1/3 feet, and 3 3/4 feet. Try to find the volume of this one. Pause the video if you need to. Next type of example is solving for the missing dimension. So they're going to give you your volume, and then they're giving you 2 of your dimensions, and you have to solve for the other one. That's an L for length. So they give you the width and the height. You need to figure out the length. So see if you can figure that out. Next one, somewhat of a story problem. How many 1-inch cubes do you need to create a cube, that's a key word, with an edge length of 8 inches? Think about a cube. A cube is made up of all squares. Squares have all the same sides. Hint, I want you to think about volume on this one. And then the last problem I want you to figure out is you're given 2 toy chests. They each have the same volume. So here's your toy chest 1. It's a 12-inch by 30-inch by 15-inch. You should be able to find the volume of that pretty easily using a calculator. And then you have toy chest 2, which only has 24 inches W and 15 inches. So you have to figure out what the width of this one would be if both of these have the same volume. So see if you can figure that out. All right, so I'm going to start going through the work and the answers for the 8.1 to 8.4 practice test. You should have all of these worked out on your own first, and then you're just going through and checking them and seeing what you may have done right and what you may have done wrong and trying to fix those mistakes before you take the actual quiz. Okay, here are the answers and the work for number 1 and 2 on the practice test. Make sure that you got those right. Pause the video if you need to. Figure out what you did wrong if you got them wrong. Okay, so here's number 3 and 4, finding volume. So for number 3, you should have got 3/8 yards cubed. And for number 4, you should have got 8 feet cubed. And on this one, I just divided 480 divided by 60, and that's where I got the 8. And then the last one on this page, so they gave you the volume, I plugged that in. You have 11 times 2 times length, or height, whatever. I put an H there, I don't know why. Still have 154, 11 times 2 gives you the 22. You gotta divide by 22 on each side to figure out that it's 7. And then the last 2 problems. So 8 inches, you gotta think 8 inches is gonna be your length, your width, and your height because they're all squares that make up a cube. So if you just multiply those together, that would give you your answer. So I could change this to 6, I could change it to 5, I could change it to 10, and you would just do the same thing, 5 times 5 times 5, or 10 times 10 times 10 to figure out the cubes. Here, I just figured out the volume first. For this one, I know it's 5,400, so then this one has to equal 5,400, so I just plugged it in for volume, and then went about solving it. 24 times 15 is 360, and then I had to divide on each side. 5,400 divided by 360 is 15 inches. So hopefully you did well on that. So your assignment is going to be the 8.1 to 8.4 quiz. You can either do it in your textbook on page 380, it's number 1 through 10, or you can go to bigideasmath.com. 8.1, 8.4 quiz is there. You can use your notes and a calculator to help you on this. Good luck, guys. That's your last assignment for the year.